what the difference is so that the board can justify whether to enter into an agreement with them or not without knowing what the difference is. Yes, I think it's a great PR. I think it's great that we would have that in our portfolio, but at the same time, we have to answer to our general public, our users, and we need to be able to say to make a educated decision of what is it doable, or is it twice as much as what we would get off, or is it just pennies on the dollar, and that type of thing.
I anticipate, because I've already thought about how I would do the analysis, I'll show how much more it's costing, and really you can look at it two ways. Either can we afford it? Yes. But we can do probably one of three things. We can either decrease our capital budget by the excess amount we're paying for power. So we have a long range plan, and maybe it says 2 years from now we plan to spend $1.05 million. But this is going to cost us $200,000 extra that year. Okay, well, we can afford it, but now our capital budget goes down to $850. Or we can say we're going to keep our capital budget at $1.05 million, but we're going to increase rates by X percent, or by this many dollars to the average resident, this many dollars to the average commercial and industrial customer, to cover that $200,000 increase that we're paying. Does that make sense? So I'll put together those different combinations so the board can see it many different ways.
Is there, I guess, two questions. So one, just how much power is it? Like what fraction of our?
So we sell roughly 80 million kilowatt hours. This would be 3 million, so 380 is 3.75%.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty small.
Yeah.
But non-trivial, I guess. If it's,
Yeah, not.
okay.
And you can
And then when-
negotiate the rates.
The only reason I ask is there's a couple general managers at the MPPA. Lowest cost. That's it. That's what they say the boards want. Like, hey, give me the lowest cost, and then they would say no to this instantly. And I'm not saying they're right in their thinking, but if that's how the board felt, then I wouldn't pursue spending any time on this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think it's definitely worth looking into. The other question I had was, like, how would you? Is there a certain amount of stability in the price? Like, since you mentioned that like the CPI clause would, I don't know how much that can adjust things, or
Could be a couple % a year increase, and I would factor that in. I would probably look at
Okay.
historic CPI trends and what future CPI trends would be. Although I would want to negotiate then, if the price of
Right.
power is going down, we'd want to see a decrease in that 8 cents.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
Well, I
for-
thought that one of the benefits of some of these kind of contracts is that you'd get a fairly stable price.
it is going to be
That doesn't-
fairly
isn't
stable.
That's not going to fluctuate crazy like the market, and so even though it might be a little bit more, it might have value in the sense that it can be counted on to remain within a certain range.
I agree with you there. It's
Okay.
not going to vary from that 8 cents by 2 or 3% a year.
Yeah.
Where the market, we could see the market actually go up by 60% the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get any additional green energy?
This would all be green energy towards the new 15% mandate and the 25% by 25.
I would like to see us go and get the study done and compare it.
Okay.
I believe
I agree.
consensus is the
Yeah,
board would
I
like
agree.
to.
That's what I felt
See
the
some
board, and
numbers.
that's what I'd recommend, but I just wanted to make sure now that he's actually putting numbers on paper,
Yep.
what it's going to look like. Okay. I'll let him know. Long-term natural gas supply update. Haven't had an update on this for a little bit, but had a good update or a good discussion with Dick Wendt this past month. Consumers Energy provided us a provision of natural gas agreement. This is the agreement that Lowell Light and Power would need to enter into to have Consumers Energy build a regulating station for us, and the agreement in form looks great. We just need to come to a price with them. So I'm going to be working with Consumers on that, but things still look good on their end to have that project done for us next year, which is a huge win for the city. We do expect that the regulating station will need to be located right here on this strip of land. You know, there's this out green building right here. For the life of us, we can't find who owns that strip of land. Consumers doesn't have any record, we don't have any record, Access Kent doesn't have any record, so we're trying to figure out who owns that strip of land, because consumers will ultimately need to own just the small little plot of land that the regulating station will be placed. And the hope is that that building can be demoed and we just place the regulating station there and it'll be actually more aesthetically pleasing. But that will ultimately need to go before the Light and Power Board and City Council to sell a small piece of land, and Dick Went and I are working on that. And then I have asked Consumers Energy to attend a future board meeting to really give a detailed update about their plans, not just in Lowell, but for their system in the general area, and what the regulating station will look like and do, and technically, from a technical basis. So things are moving forward, and I expect that they'll be presenting later this year. Any questions there? Standby generator. Barney found a 600 kW diesel trailer mounted generator for $80,000, which is $20,000 over budget. So Barney is going to keep looking. What Barney is going to do though is the trailer that we need that is included in this $80,000 price, that could be, I forget how heavy that generator is, but
Generator's anywhere from 22 to 25,000 pounds. It's pretty heavy.
so it's a heavy duty trailer, and there's the potential for more than $20,000 of that $80,000 purchase to actually be the trailer. So the generator would be within budget, and we'd use our vehicle and equipment replacement fund to fund the actual trailer purchase. Does that make sense? Because we might be able to find a generator without the trailer, but if we can get it cheaper
With the trailer.
with the trailer and just economies of scale, that's the route we go. But we do want to have that purchase fairly soon.
How heavy does the Mack truck?
I want to sell the Mack truck, Perry.
Yeah,
Just asking.
yeah. He's not gonna get 20
Well,
for it. though.
those, with the bin, I believe more than 30,000
What
pounds.
are you plated for on that, or don't you know? It's gonna what is it?
60 some thousand pounds.
64, yeah, so it's probably 22,000, or, yeah. So it'd be close.
Could we use that?
You can get one on a skid, put it on there, and hook up a 500-gallon tank to it.
That's a good thought.
I'm just,
I don't know if Ryan likes it, but I don't think Ryan likes the truck. Whenever somebody comes by, do you want to buy it? You almost had to deal with like plumbers, right?
Really hot after it, but
Wow.
didn't want it.
I'm surprised it ain't sitting out by the road with this small little course there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do something.
Anyway, we'll continue to look there. Community solar, the progress has slowed. The company we were working with gave the city a total cost of like almost close to $4 million for this entire project, and the city would have to go to bonding. So Richland Bombard and Mike Burns are like, this is just rushed, and they were trying to meet a deadline, and we haven't budgeted for this, and we have no idea it was going to cost this amount of money, so we're going to have to delay the community solar. New EO services to customers. Sharon came to me in the past month with a couple of great ideas to implement new programs to better serve our customers so we can save even more kilowatt hours. And the first, I'll really let Sharon, I know what they are, but.
Okay. So the first program is partnering with Michigan Saves. And we've been working on a statewide program for implementing energy efficiency on bill financing. And it presented a bunch of challenges to actually have our system do, and many other municipals, but their system to actually do the financing so that we would, spread it out over, 2 years or whatever, and then does it go with the homeowner? Does it become a lien on the home? Does it transfer over ownership? And there were just a lot of challenges with that. I
And when she's
met-
talking about on-bill financing, she's saying like,
For energy efficiency.
for energy efficiency, like big upgrades to homes.
Right,
Like where a customer can use the utility to finance big energy efficiency projects.
Windows
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
sliding, yeah.
right. And we would only do the electric savings also. So there's many gas savings and weatherization and other savings that customers would want to take advantage of. So Michigan Saves, I met the executive director at Michigan Saves, and she was kind of helping us with a statewide on-bill financing program. And they have a system in place already for residential and commercial customers to take advantage of, it's basically taking advantage of the energy efficiencies, renewable energies. They can, they'll be able to finance it through Michigan Saves. They actually qualify them. They have different banks that they work with, and they are a nonprofit organization that does this. And that way we wouldn't have to qualify the customers. And I did talk with somebody through Holland that was doing this program, and they had a bucket of money to be able to offer their customers. And they just basically, if you didn't have a 12-month history with no late fees, you didn't qualify for the program. So this way, Michigan Saves kind of does a deeper dive into the financing to see who qualifies and doesn't qualify. And then they actually get the financing through them. And so you can do renewable energy. They could do gas savings through there and electric. So they'd have a lot more opportunity to finance if somebody bought an older home and wanted to do a lot of upgrades that they couldn't afford to do. So they're at a really low percentage. So Mary is coming in to talk with our staff at our next staff meeting next week. And she's going to go over the entire program with everybody, so everybody's on board with what we have to offer our customers.
And you'll have a link to on our webpage
We
that
will,
customers can go out to
yes,
search
and it'll
that.
go right to Michigan Saves. And so we'll do all the marketing and everything for that.
So really, it's just encouraging energy savings, whether it be on the gas or electric or
Right,
weatherization
or if
side.
somebody wanted to do their own renewable energy as well, they could finance that.
Yeah, and it's allowing like maybe potentially lower income customers to qualify for large amounts of capital to make these upgrades, and we will receive EO kilowatt hour savings when they do electric upgrades, and we have rebates for those programs.
Right,
So they're basically acting as like the bank and credit institution, because we're just so small and we don't have a pot of money just to set up our own bank and loan people and qualify people and do a bunch of billing
right.
upgrades to our
And then try to
system.
fine them if they leave. And because there's a lot of rentals too, but there's a lot of transient people through here too.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
then who does the upgrades? Is it the landlord, or, you know, they qualify them for all of that. So do you have any questions on that? So we'll learn more about it after our staff meeting. Steve and I are going to meet with the executive director separately and kind of put everything together. The other thing is the recycling program. We used to use JACO for our recycling program, and in the fall of 2015, JACO went out of business, and consumers used them as well. And so they did all of our refrigerator, freezer, room air conditioner, and dehumidifier recycling. We had a program, and they would come around and pick up. People could schedule their pickups, and they went out of business. So we suspended our program, as well as consumers did as it also. So in 2017, consumers went with another out-of-state. They're from South Carolina, and they have like a trucking company that picks up, and you know, then they haul it to South Carolina, and they have a lot larger territory, and so I looked at some different recycling options for us, and most of it was outside trucking companies that they would hire, so it'd be like $2,000 to just go around like once a month. Well, we may not have a refrigerator to be recycled. So many people have called us last year and just asked us to go pick up their refrigerator or freezer, so we were just housing them in the line shack. And then I found Padnos, which would come around and just pick them up. They picked up like a dozen out of the line shack. And
At a good price.
at a really good price. We were paying like $90 for Jayco to come around to pick up and recycle. And or wait, was it? Yeah, $90, and then we give everybody a $50 incentive on top of it. And so our guys are actually doing the pickups, housing them over there, and then we pay the trucking company just, you know, one time. That was stuff that we had over there from last year and a few from this year. But we paid them like $475, and they picked up like a dozen of them, and they recycle them for $25. So they're recycling them for like $40 basically a unit if we pay for the truck and everything. So, and then this way we're able to also participate in the cleanup, the city cleanup day, which is September 30th this year, and we were not able to participate with them last year. So Ryan and his staff have been scheduling it. We're gonna just schedule it like the third Tuesday of the month if people call in, and then we're gonna start promoting that, and that's what will be in the bill stuffer with the EO summary that goes to customers.
Does it have to be dragged out to the street?
No,
You'll actually go in and pull it out?
Yep.
Awesome.
basically, yeah. And so some people have said it's, you know, in the garage, or it's on the sidewalk, or they just tell you where it is. But,
And we wanted to keep it just one day a month because we're trying to become more structured with our projects and plans. We don't want to we want to serve our customers, but we also need to make sure we can keep on top of our projects. So if somebody calls the Friday before that week, anytime in the month, yep, we'll come and pick up on Tuesday. And obviously within reason, we're going to be flexible in a case by case scenario if they give us enough notice. But we're just going to advertise the third or second?
the third.
Third Tuesday of every month.
Yep.
Anybody can call and say they'd like to
Yeah.
recycle an appliance, and we'll be there to pick it up, and we're gonna get the EO savings for it. We'll house it here, and Padnos will pick
Yeah.
it up, and we have a ton of stuff.
Can you do like microwaves and stuff like that, or is it just?
We can't, no, we can't do that. That's, CompRenew does some of the electronics like that. If you know,
So
you
it's
can take it.
refrigerator, stove,
It's-
dishwasher,
It's
washer, dryer?
refrigerator, freezers,
Okay.
dehumidifiers, and room air conditioners.
Okay.
Also anything with cooler, basically.
Right.
That'd be cool.
And maybe we may have to put out a list for other needs. You can contact X, Y, or Z. You know, because I imagine they're gonna be feeling,
Yeah,
once you
just-
do something for somebody, they want more.
I know.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
then they're not happy that you're doing it because you can't do it all.
And people really, you know, like people would call, do you still have that program? Because we haven't been advertising it, and I just had that we had suspended the program, so it'll be nice to get it up and running. And I think as we start advertising, we'll get more people.
Are we gonna
thinking about it.
advertise that on our app too?
Oh, yeah, we could put it on the energy efficiency app.
And there's also
Yeah.
little banners on the app that we can put on there too.
Yep.
You know, little sidebars.
Just
or-
have like a
It's
little
great idea.
scroll
We need to
across
better
there.
utilize the app now that we have it.
Scroll across the
Yeah.
pickups.
Thanks, Cher.
Yeah.
Speaking of the
Speaking
app,
of which, yeah.
Julie.
phase one is up. I believe all the bugs are really corrected. We went from 80 people to over, I think, close to 125 to 130 after we had the ad play in the movie theater for, I think, just 4 weeks. And we have a ton of marketing dollars available, so we're going to be advertising that from mid-August through December, or through January 4th, I think,
yeah.
in the movie theater for a couple $1,000s, and it's going to put it, and they have all statistics, and it's going to be right before the movie when people are seated.
And in the lobby.
And in the lobby. And
It's not there.
If I hand you my phone, can you hook me up now?
in phase 2 is being worked on right now, and Julie is participating in weekly calls, and they had given us an August 28th deadline. Our credit card processor, Clearwater, has a bunch of other projects going on, so that deadline, that date is to be determined. It may be mid-September, maybe late September, but this phase 2 is being worked on, and phase 1 is out there and it's working. And everything is being posted to our DAFRON system automatically. Correct?
We have to do one step instead of 10.
Okay, so pretty much.
Yes.
We removed the human element and we've automated the process, so,
Yes.
yes. Okay, Mayor's Exchange Day on June 16th, I had the opportunity with city staff and the city council to visit the city of Wayland. They do not have an electric utility, but it was still fun to, just for the camaraderie purpose, to hang out with the city council and city staff, as well as just to visit another city and see what their community is doing well and what's worked for them. A beautiful park downtown with an awesome splash pad, and I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I think Mike and going over to Saginaw to look at their splash pads, so who knows what's coming, but anyway, just a lot of cool different ideas that you learn, and it was my first time that I was able to participate in Mayor's Exchange.
Gambling.
We went to the casino and we got a behind-the-scenes tour and met the CEO and got to go on the reservation. It was very impressive.
That's where a lot of their revenue's coming from now.
I'd say,
Yeah,
yeah, it was very impressive, wasn't it?
yeah.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. Nothing new on fiber to the home, fiber extension to city facilities and citywide phone project. So after a year and a half, the project is functioning and is complete. June 22nd was the go live date, and I mean, there's always a few hiccups, but all in all, it went really well. I think Sue Olin's phone and Julie's phone dropped calls once in a while, and they're figuring that out. I think they're working on the 911 standard that says if a call is made on the second floor of a building to 911, it will say low light and power, second floor. So they're working out that coding, and they actually expect that to be completed by end of business day tomorrow. And there was another issue with the backup internet line here. Once the internet at City Hall tripped, you could make a call, but it took like 20 seconds to go out, so they were trying to decrease that lag time. But other than that, the phone system's up and running. I've gotten great feedback. The DPW and Ralph has chatted me on the new Jabber feature. It's a function where you can chat with any person within the city, and it'll show if they're in a meeting or on a phone call, if they're available. And he had a very nice thank you note to especially the Light and Power Distribution Department for the fiber, because they're now able to potentially implement a SCADA system, and their internet is significantly faster than it ever was. So it's opened up to what he made it sound like a world of opportunities by having this new system in place. And then we're also going to save like $600,000 in the next 10 years. So it was a huge win. So
AT&T was not a very fun player.
no,
They were the worst.
they were not. They would not port, and the cemetery's
All the
number
lines.
still hasn't ported
I know.
over. And the fires just happened today. They would not agree.
Yeah, I was talking to Betsy.
Somebody's vacation has ended because they were making a lot of money from us. Anyway, but that project is pretty much done, and it was awesome project, very, very good project. Harvest Meadows condominiums. Last month I reported that we'd be doing work there because they had indicated to us that paving would be done at the end of June. Really, the major paving hasn't started. I think Ryan told me the bike path has recently started, so we can start doing some work, but we're really just waiting on them at this point to go forward with anything there. Then payables are in your packet, and that's all I have.
Okay. Schedule of meetings. You will see on July 26th, we'll be doing Adopt a Road cleanup. We will, 5 o'clock out at the township
Yes.
lower parking lot?
Yes.
So anybody that would like, any board members or anybody that would like to participate can?
And that day is a what day? I know it's the
Tuesday.
26th.
Wednesday.
It's a
Wednesday, I
Wednesday?
believe.
Yeah, I think it's a.
Yeah, it's
Then
2 weeks
it's
from
not a
today.
Thursday, all right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sharon, do you want to send, we can send the board an email reminder, like the day or two before.
I know that we'll,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't, if it was a Thursday, I couldn't.
All right. Golf.
Yes, sir.
That's what I
It's
thought.
Wednesday.
just bring your
Priorities, Jim.
Wednesday.
Share plays on Thursday.
Community
too.
service or
I
golf?
do.
Yeah, what's that?
And the next board meeting will be
I'll be in
August
November, December.
9th.
Yeah.
And that's a Wednesday too, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Is that our last Wednesday?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Oh, good. I
and
know.
we'll be back to Thursday.
You don't know what it takes. I busted out of Detroit and kind of broke speed limit all the way.
We made
With
it.
that, board comments. Jim,
I'm good tonight, thanks.
Andrew,
I guess I'm good. I thought there was something I was going to say, but
well, if you think of it while we're, Marty.
Like to congratulate Steve on his new contract. You're well deserved of it, and good job.
Thanks, Marty.
Couple things I have. Well, I'll get to them.
Oh, okay, well, I usually go last.
I just figured,
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Just make
my
it a
fault.
that's it.
huh?
My fault, I apologize.
So, on the descriptions, and we talked about before, but when it says Project 102 or 10, you know, if we could have some kind of,
It's in my brain now.
just, you know, because then it's
I
easier,
got
it's
it.
easier for, I mean, we can cross-reference and look at the strategic plan and figure out what, but for the general public, I just think it would help if we had a name with what Project 101 is or 107.
Okay.
Truck repairs, I was over and Ryan showed me our service truck. It's got all new, we approved before, new tool containment
Containment.
things
Bins.
and bins, and that looks great. The line shack, I see that Ryan or somebody's been cleaning it out. I did get the carpeting out of there. That carpeting was used for the Riverwalk, so you're probably going, what the heck is he doing? So anyway.
good.
That's what Ryan didn't say.
Yeah,
Riverwalk was great. The only other thing
Yes.
that I want to do is, each year, it's coming up, Pink Arrow, and we put banners out on Main Street, and Low Light Power has theirs every year. The only thing is, and we can put that up again, the only thing is, because of a lot of new faces and everything, I would like the board and the management to consider getting a new banner with and
Oh,
Nicole's so
yes.
great at pictures that, you know, you can set a date or whatever and get it. I think the last picture was done underneath the neon light, but again, that's up to the rest of the board, what we want to do, but.
Well, that should be updated.
Yeah.
I think it should. I mean, it's $99 to put it up. Again, the money that's raised goes to the Pink Arrow Pride. 100% of the money that's raised stays here in the community, and the other there are no paid positions. So every dollar that we raise helps somebody on a cancer journey.
Yep. We're gonna be selling one of Janet Johnson's early paintings I have at my store, and that's something that my store's putting up, and all that money we get from that's gonna go towards that.
So again, to have the new banner is, which is, cost of the banner is $199. So,
Yep. Perry, if you could reach out to Tina to see if she wants to hear anything about what we did tonight, because she's not here,
yep,
as we move forward with that.
yep, will do.
Thank you.
With that,
Thank you. I enjoyed it. It's you guys do a lot of great things, and and like he said, if you could put what the project is, I think, you know,
Yes.
then I got my little list that I can give to everybody and explain
now,
it.
are you
I
taking
filled in. I filled in tonight.
just for tonight?
Yes,
Yeah.
he had to go
Okay.
to Cadillac. I think his uncle's sick or something. But
That's it.
you know, I should come more often because it is enjoyable to see what you guys are doing and the rate that you go. And yes, that storm missed us because I was driving over there and wow, they got hit over there in the corner in
We got lucky.
Grand Rapids, yeah. and
Focus
Hopefully
on
tonight we
Mrs.
get
Nail
through,
back
but
when I went to
Yeah.
work.
it was kind of weird that
Right.
path went because we had to go pick up some stuff for work and wow.
Yep.
Speaking
So,
of the storm, I should thank Mark and Rich. They did go to Grand Haven and
Oh, did they?
assist.
Okay.
Good.
great.
Sunday.
So Sunday, they were able to help them out.
Yeah.
Thank you, I had a great time.
Thanks for coming.
Okay,
Yeah,
with,
we'll come up with nicknames. Ryan and I will look at the projects and come up with something catchy that makes sense. And
With that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
okay,
I'll second that.
it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.